Recording in progress.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Mindful Moments series. My name is Laura. I'm the Adult Services Librarian at the Reddick Library. This month's topic, we are talking about digital detox. As I start all of my Mindful Moments series, just a friendly reminder that I'm not a medical professional or expert in this topic. I am a librarian who's done a lot of research. So let's begin talking about digital detox. I'm going to start by defining digital detox. So what do you think of when you hear the phrase digital detox? These are two definitions that I have come up with to describe digital detox, as I will be talking about in this presentation. The first is a period of time when an individual voluntarily refrains from devices and social media. The first part of this presentation will talk about when you want to do a device-free digital detox. The second definition that I have come up with to describe digital detox in regards to this presentation is becoming more mindful of your device use and how it affects all aspects of your life, and striving to use devices more responsibly to better your life. The second part of this presentation will be talking about tips to become more mindful of your device use and to refrain from device uses to improve your life. This quote comes from Tanya Gooden and her book, Stop Staring at Screens, A Digital Detox for the Whole Family. Quote, whether you're playing on a games console or scrolling on a smartphone, hoping for a text or a like on something we've posted on social media, our brains are waiting for tiny dopamine hits. As our dopamine levels rise, our brains respond by wanting more. It is very easy to become dependent on the dopamine that we get from our devices, whether it's from a game or hoping for something to happen on social media, whether we're afraid of the FOMO, the fear of missing out, that has been a phrase in recent years. We become dependent and reliant on our devices, like our tablets, our smartphones, our laptops, to provide us comfort, to provide us stimulation, and it can become harmful. It can create eye strain, more physical things like headaches, back issues if we're sitting all day looking at our screens and not using the best posture while using our devices. And it can affect our relationships with our friends and family. So what are some of the benefits of doing a digital detox or becoming more mindful of our screen use? It can increase your empathy and compassion for others. It can create less stress for you. It improves your listening skills. It can increase your productivity. It can help strengthen your relationships. It can increase your overall energy. It can create better focusing skills. It can improve your sleep quality. And it can combat increasing tendencies towards screen addiction. Screen addiction does happen and it can be prevented. All of these benefits that are listed here are going to be, are listed where the information I got them, the references will be listed at the end of this presentation. Moving on to tips for a successful device-free digital detox. This can be an exercise that you do by yourself, with your partner, with your friends, with your family, with just to remove yourself from your dependency on your devices. So these are tips for a successful way to do this. This can be an afternoon, This can be a weekend, this can be a week, it can be a month. This is a broad range of time that I'll be talking about here for this device-free digital detox. It's up for you to decide what works for you. Before you begin, and this is as you're thinking about doing a device-free digital detox time period, ask yourself, why do you want to do a digital detox? Do you find yourself removed from everyday situations because you find yourself drifting to your smartphone or your tablet? What aspects of your device and screen usage bothers you? What do you hope to gain by digital detoxing? And you can discuss these things with your partner, family, friends, or in self-reflective journaling. This quote comes from Tanya Gooden again. Quote, taking the time to talk about what bothers us about our screen use and how we would like things to be different, and even sharing some of the enjoyment of our screen time together is going to lead to a much happier home. So when you've decided to do a device-free digital detox, here are some tips before you begin. Take some time, like a few days or weeks, to track your screen time habits, personal and work-related, and be honest. So jot these down in a journal every time you pick up your device or every time you find yourself aimlessly scrolling on a social media outlet. Write it down and track your time for that. Be honest. You can download an app that tracks your screen time, like Screen Time, Break Free, or Space. There are so many of these types of screen time devices, and social media apps like Instagram have an outlet in their settings that you can see how much screen time or time you've spent looking at that app. So these apps track your screen time, and they can put limits on your screen time. They can give you warnings, like pop-up messages when you've had, if you've put a self-limit on your screen time, they'll give you a notification when you're close to that limit. Some of them will give you like virtual stickers and things like that to reward you if you do not use all your screen time that you've allotted for yourself, things like that. Some of these do cost money and some of them are free, but might have ads to them. So I recommend that you do some research if you're interested in downloading an app, or you can ask a librarian to help you do some research or print out information about these different types of apps for you. When you find yourself picking up your device, assess why you're doing so. So if you're waiting in line at the post office and you find yourself really itching to pick up your smartphone and scroll through a social media app, why are you doing that? When you're at home and the dishes are piled up and the laundry is piled up and the lawn needs to be mowed, but you're inside wanting to watch videos on the internet, why are you doing so? Assess why. So preparation work as that time comes closer to do your device-free digital detox. Start small depending on your comfort level. If you're really not comfortable to put your devices away for a weekend, start with an afternoon. Start with a Saturday afternoon. Informed loved ones of your digital detox plans so they don't worry. Throughout this whole thing, I'm not saying to be contact free. So yes, you'll still have your phone available for calls and texts if that's what you choose to do. However, if you don't want to be texting people and you just want to be dependent on phone calls, inform loved ones of those plans So they know, okay, I need to get a hold of this person and they're not texting this weekend. I'm going to call them instead. If you're very active on a social media platform and are suddenly missing from that social media platform for an extended period of time, that could cause worry for people. So please be considerate of your loved ones and your friends of your digital detox plans so they don't assume the worst. And they can help respect and encourage you through your plans as well. And again, sharing your digital detox plans allows them to encourage you with your goals. While you're doing your device-free digital detox, be mindful of your feelings and experiences. Do you feel good? Do you feel bad? How are you feeling? When you find yourself aching for your devices, assess why you want them. Plan out activities and projects to do during your detox, especially the first time, so you're a little bit busy and not focusing on wanting your devices. Journal or write out what you want to share on social media. If you're an active social media user and feel stifled because you can't share expressions or thoughts on those platforms, physically write it out. And when your digital detox is over, see if you're still even interested in sharing it on social media platforms. After your digital detox time period has gone by, assess how it went by asking yourself the following. How hard was it? How do you feel? Do you feel better or worse? Will you change anything more permanently now that you've completed a digital detox? Some people do digital detoxes at their houses, or they plan them when they're on vacations, things like that. If you're going away for the weekend and informed your loved ones, if you really need me, please call me, but otherwise I'm not checking email, I'm not checking my texts. And see how that experience affects you. Now that we've talked about completing a device-free digital detox, here are some easy ways to cut down on screen time and device usage to be more mindful of the way that your usage affects others and to help cut down to encourage some of those benefits that I've discussed before. Here are some easy general tips. Be more mindful with your screen time. What I mean by that is reflected in that second point, screen time with a purpose. Why are you going on your device? Have a reason to go on your device. If your reason is, I want to look for a recipe that uses these 3 ingredients that I have in my pantry so I don't have to go to a store, that is a reason. If your reason is, I want to text with my friend who I haven't seen in a few days, that's a reason. If your reason is, I want to see those baby pictures of the baby my friend just had on social media, that's a reason. So it's just when you screen time with a purpose and it leads to other things. So set time limits to complete those tasks. Say, okay, I'm going to set a timer on my phone for 20 minutes. And after that 20 minutes is up, I'm done. Carry out your intended tasks and put your device away. And be mindful with your devices in public spaces. Be mindful of the sounds your devices make in public spaces. People can be auditory sensitive, and to especially those experiencing PTSD, like those who have been in combat zones or who have experienced traumatic things, can be very sensitive to auditory stimulation. And if they're in a public space and notifications on phones are going off all the time, or loud ringers are going off all the time, it can really be stressful for these people, or people who experience, not just those people, but anyone who experiences auditory sensitivity. So please be mindful with your devices in public spaces, especially cramped public spaces like public transportation. Here are some easy smartphone tips. Put your phone away completely out of sight when talking to someone, especially at a restaurant. I see so many times that people will be out with friends at a restaurant and everyone has their phone on the table. Put it out of sight when talking with someone. You can bring it out to take a photo if you'd like to take a photo of yourself with your friends or your food or the experience, but then put it away when you're done taking that photo. Treat your smartphone like a landline phone at home. Put it in a designated spot when you're at your house. You can turn the ringer up a lot, very loud, so you can hear it in different areas of your house. But don't keep your phone next to you at all times, especially at night. So if you have your phone in your pocket with you at all times, you're more likely to pull it out and aimlessly scroll on it. And the blue light that phones emit can affect the way that you sleep and produce melatonin. So especially at night, try keeping your phone across the room with the ringer up, just not right next to you. And be sure to you take advantage of the do not disturb mode of your phone. If you need assistance learning how to use that, you can ask a librarian to help you with that. But set your do not disturb setting every night, and that way calls can come through from or texts if you'd prefer, from those specific individual contacts on your phone that you'd like to receive them from. So, your partner or your parents or your children or things like that, or people who you feel would only call you in the middle of the night if there was an emergency that you need to be aware of. And don't use your phone as an alarm clock. Use an actual alarm clock instead. There are a lot of benefits to that. Restrict your notifications. Do you get a notification for any time a game you like to play gets a new level updated? Do you get a notification every time someone posts on YouTube or Instagram or anything like that? That can be overwhelming and give you so much overstimulation. So you can restrict your notifications. I only get notifications on my phone for calls and texts. That's it. And I find myself feeling better for that after I restricted my notifications severely. I've talked about this before, but you can download an app to track your screen time. From Tanya Gooden, this quote: "When your phone is on the table during a family meal or furtively glanced at when you're talking to someone, the message you're sending to those you live with is, this device is more important to me than you." I think that's a powerful quote. Here are some easy email tips. Don't check your work email during your off work time, unless this is expected of you and definitely talked about with your higher ups. Don't check your work email during your off work time, and let your coworkers know that you won't be. I've let my coworkers know I won't be checking my work email during off work time. Set a schedule during your day of when you'll check your email accounts and stick to it. Encourage people to call you instead of email you if you plan on limiting your email usage. Sometimes it's easier to be contacted by phone over email. Restrict, this is a personal thing, restrict and combine your accounts and notifications. How many email accounts do you have personally? I had a lot more email accounts than I should have had. And then I closed some and narrowed them down. And now I have definitely restricted my emails and unsubscribe from unwanted emails. If you're receiving email notifications from a store in a town that you moved away from and haven't been to in 3 years, why are you still receiving emails from them? Opening your email account to see 75 emails, but you only look at 3 of them. Why are you getting the other 72? Unsubscribe. You can always subscribe again if you choose to. Here are some easy social media tips. Delete your social media apps from your smartphone. If you have another device that you can check your social media accounts on, that can help from prevent you from aimlessly scrolling on your easily accessible smartphone. Just like email, set a schedule during your day of when you'll check your social media accounts and stick to it. Restrict your notifications and who you follow too. Why are you following, 8,000 people if you only want to look at 100 people's social media accounts? And this is a big one. Assess if you really want or need your social media accounts and delete your accounts on those you don't want and need. Easy family-friendly tips. Eat meals together with no devices present. Plan device-free family activities. Be open and honest with children about devices and how it can affect their health. Put limits on everyone's screen time, not just the children, but yours as well. Lead by example. Plan shared screen time activities like movie nights, or let's look on YouTube together on the TV and watch things together, or video games, family-friendly video games together. Create no phone zones of your house, like bedrooms are no phone zones, or the family room, you can have your phones in, but the living room, you can't, things like that. This quote from Tanya Gooden: children notice the behavior of those they see around them. So adults also need to be aware of their own screen use and how it impacts those closest to them. As I said before, lead by example with your screen time. Here are some advanced tips if you're really looking forward or looking for ways to cut down on your device usage. Get a basic cell phone, not a smartphone. Invest in a quality camera so you're not dependent on your phone as a camera. You can discontinue your internet service. The library offers free Wi-Fi hotspots if you are interested in pursuing those as your only internet resource. And then when you don't have a Wi-Fi hotspot, you don't have internet at your house. If this works for you and your life and your work, of course. And you can use the public library for your computer needs as well. Here are the recommended resources as well as the references that I used to create this presentation. Logged In and Stressed Out: How Social Media is Affecting Your Mental Health and What You Can Do About It by Paula Derlovsky. Stop Staring at Screens: A Digital Detox for the Whole Family by Tanya Gooden. Driven to Distraction by Edward M. Hallowell. Driven to Distraction at Work by Edward M. Hallowell. Managing Anxiety with Mindfulness for Dummies by Joelle Jane Marshall. Digital Minimalism: Choosing a Focused Life in a Noisy World by Cal Newport. And Brainwash: Detox Your Mind for Clearer Thinking, Deeper Relationships, and Lasting Happiness by David Perlmutter, Austin Perlmutter, and Kristen Loberg. I hope this presentation has offered some helpful hints for you and helpful tips. And I hope you have a great day. Take care.